So, you need to do rotation. Can you do more like, think as a group of notes, like you're just going, ooh, wah. Instead of doing, look, you can see that change this.
Yeah.
I want you to just roll through like as if you blocked this, and you see how hitting a little bit over, and then you just roll-wee, ooh-wee, going down, down.
Like that?
Yeah. No,
Like that?
because you have to group to get this what? This sense of the rocking motion of the boat comes from grouping what? 6 plus 6. And not going ba, 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 or even anything like that. So yeah, now you have to rotate over, even this is like a 10, you're going, right? You just have to do that, or if you do this, you're in trouble.
Yes.
How
about the black keys?
Yeah, well,
when you get to next measure.
Oh, that's right. It gets more difficult physically. Yeah, okay, so let's go back to 6 slowly, 7, 8, up to 9. That's where you have a cadence in B minor. So start at measure 6 and go to 9 with the left. Okay, so that's a diminished chord. You just want to hear as if you hear this. As if you hear like that's taking you down that one harmony. Ooh, you know what I mean? Instead of da, da, da. Have you done some extra blocking so you see how your thumb comes over under 4 fingers? It does. Like this, it does this.
So it's about rotation, right?
Right. But here's how I'd block it. I do this 4-note block and let go of this because you're not going to be holding notes. And then you need to know the transition is 4-1, right? And then what happens after that? What happens after I have the G sharp? Oh, then you have an octave. Right? Basically, you have this. Look what you have. I'm showing you this first. This is what you have. See this? Look. I would do these 2 big blocks. 4-note block and octave. An octave. So I need to know basically what the transit. And then the important thing is from this to this. The basic out. This to this. This. So you're thinking ooh, ooh. And by the way, you have to make a little crescendo in the left hand because I did tell you that the right hand does most of the dynamics, but you want a little support in the left hand because the left hand isn't counterpoint, is it? It's not like Bach where, we all of a sudden have to hear it, tapped out. I got to hear all that every single note. You don't want to do that. You want to hear the harmonic feeling of that. But I think you need to make that little crescendo that he shows in the measure before. You see what it says crescendo there? In measure.
Yeah. Yes.
Make a little swell, a slight swell, and then come down in the diminished chord like you let the air out of the balloon a little bit, okay? So this is full.
You mean like going up and then down?
Well, it's falling down. Make the thumb very light. You don't want the thumb to stick out. It's like if you... It's harmonic. Everything's harmonic, but it's broken chord harmonic. Okay, now I want you to do it again and keep in mind that you're just trickling down that diminished chord, the broken chord. Go back to measure to the beginning of. Back to this. Instead of.
All right.
Roll through groups of notes. Roll harmony. Up, down. You know what? Da, 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 ba, da, da, dee. Listen, you gotta be sing what you want to hear, or else you don't know which one to hear. Just goes right. You don't want to hear. You don't want to hear. everyone hear the good, because I didn't hear your thumbs. That you camouflage your thumb, or you folded your thumb into the overall chordal grouping, right? You're folding your thumb in. Right. Better. These are all rotations here, right? We know these are rotations. You have to learn to just. Arm weight gives you dynamic. I would be careful with pedaling with Chopin. That could get like Debussy and get a little drowny. You know what I mean? Be careful with the pedaling. Maybe like, oh, that's the diminished chord, but don't let anything else get in there. And you're going to lift your pedal a little bit more. You'll see when you play the right hand. But are you going to make the little crescendo he wants you to do? He has a dominant 7 here. Is that right? Has a dominant 7 here to the tonic, so let up a little. Yeah, I want you to notice harmonic rhythm. What do you see here? What is this? This will be the 6th chord of B minor. This will be the primary dominant. This will be the
then dominant, and then tonic.
We have a diminished chord, because diminished chords can lead to it leads to the dominant 7 anyway. Right? Dominant 7 and tonic.
So you mean crescendo when they get back to tonic?
Make a little swell so everything doesn't sound so flat. You know, he says he wants a little crescendo, and by the time, and I would say it peaks. Let's see, when he gets to the dominant, he resolved here. Now it's gonna get. You know, it's going in and out, like you're undulating this a bit, aren't you?
That seems the measure 6, the second one, right? The third beat and the 4th beat.
The dominant 7. Yeah, that's the 7 that's spread out with an octave, a broken octave. Yeah, but make sure, you know, little swell. You always resolve a little down at the beginning to the tonic note. You know that. You never smack a tonic dominant.
Yeah.
It's like dynamics have a longer perspective than, oh, it says crescendo, so I've got to make sure I smack the B for the tonic. That wouldn't make sense organically to dominant tonic relationship. So, but then you get deeper in the keys again after that, and then what happens? The diminished chord is letting the air out in a sighing fall down diminished chord.
You mean this one?
Completely fall down. And then revving up again to a dominant after that, and then what?
Yeah.
Change your pedal a little more frequently because it can get all too drowny. You know, make it. Yeah. So yeah, that's a hard place because physically you're doing something different than in the first 2 lines of the music. Yeah. So you got to know what you want to hear. You have to know what you want to hear. And what I often do is I sing out loud what I want to hear, and then I try to replicate it in choreographies of my arms and lightening my arm weight, floating my arms, so I don't get tappy sounding fingers. Because we didn't write a blog called No Tappy Fingers in Chopin, not in this. I want to say one more thing. There's certain harmonic events that tell you have to dip down and resolve at certain junctures. And one of those junctures is measure 7 on that first beat. I didn't hear the B minor resolution tonic there. Because you came out of this, watch. Now you could build to the suspension, less resolve. That whole harmonic strand tells you what to do, even if you didn't have dynamics written. Because suspensions resolve, right? The second to the third. And goes to tonic. Then he goes to the dominant, resolve down. It's like a hymn. It's a hymn formula right there, those chords. So that's what I want you to think of. Resolving dominant to tonic and resolving suspensions to thirds, seconds to thirds. And then dominant 7 in measure 9, tonic, measure 9 is tonic. So this time when you play, why do you think harmony as you play? Think harmony.
So start with B minor in chord 6, right? And then 5, the dominant, and then
A resolution needed to occur right away and at the first.
so da da dee da da, and then resolve, right?
This is resolving. Watch here. Then you can make a little to this. Let's. I mean, that's the whole thing right there. All mapped out for you. Solve it. That's go forward. Resolve. Resolve. There you go. You have two resolutions. You have this to this, and this resolves to this. Right? Second falls to thirds, which is a dominant, and then a tonic. So now you're thinking nice, long, long lines of harmony. Okay, now I want you to go back here. This sixth chord. Sixth chord with a seventh on it. Inner voice. T, resolve. Move it to here. Resolve. So you have to know your destinations, right? We're talking about destinations or sub-destinations in a phrase. Like one destination that's in sub-destination that's leading to the next one, and then the final destination. So these notes are going ta, that's the essence of the whole thing right there. You also have to go back to thinking that you're thinking of the piece in 2 and not in 4. Yeah. So you have to do 2 groups of 6. But here's the thing that happens. It happens to a lot of students. They go like this. And it comes a very thumpy, lumpy. That's just an alto voice. You're really thinking bum, pa, ti, di, da, di. So in other words, that alto voice jumped out in measure 6 on what would be the third beat when it was offsetting the melodic thread. Be real careful about that finger number thumb on that F sharp. Yeah, it's better if you just think da dee da dee ta dee. Do a lot of singing. Sing while you're playing. Yes, you want to preserve the outline and the shape of the melody, preserve what the bass is doing against that melody to make it more harmonically interesting, give it the harmonic dimension, and support the melody in its harmonic context with the left hand, because it works together. They work together. You know, going over and around your thumb in big jumps, and with the big jumps, you have to have a seamless legato as best you can, you know, the floating, flowing left hand without gasps and gaps. And he's going over the 10th sometimes and big jumps, you know, and you have to make believe they're not big jumps. You have to psych yourself out to the fact they may be big, but you're making them small by the way you're moving your arm. I think what you should do, and I think every day you should play through your left hand, every day you should play through your right hand, and then take little phrases, like maybe a 4-measure phrase, and see if it's helping you when you then synthesize the hands. This piece is a great blocking piece for the left hand.
Yeah. There's always layers to do.
Even if you're going like you're doing this, you can still do things like this, right? And then overlapping blocks. You know, like things that you do like that. It clarifies your fingering too. Clarifies fingering. You make these blurs because they're overlapping blocks, right? Then you know you're rotating as opposed to that kind of thing. Listening to this away from your hands, getting connected to it. Well, did I really want to hear that? Something popped out there, you know. How do I change that? What can I do to smooth that line out? So I think, and once the student gets that consciousness in that piece, it will grow the piece significantly. It'll start to grow more when you are conscious of what you want to change in the piece as you go along in the phrasing of the piece. Because we
Mm.
started out today just realizing that things were tapped a little too much, and then we started, counteracting that and thinking longer groups and thinking in two per measure instead of, 1, 2, 3, 4 beats. It's really, you think half the measure is one beat, and the other half the measure is the lighter half of the beat of the measure. One,
Mm.
two, one, two, one, two. Yeah, that's the way I think of. I think it works. I think that's what he wants. And Mendelssohn does it that way too in his, bar chorales and boat songs. It's that same thing.